over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
We all play the same game. The battlefield may look different, but between those painted lines, the feeling each of us get alongside our tribe. Let the moment sink in, then let it rip. The runs out wide, last-ditch efforts and clean sheets. The tap-in or rocket to the top bins. The eruption of the 12th player that sends shivers down your spine. It's in the way we celebrate, because football is everyone's game. Play football.
On the back of the announcement of the celebration of football, NPLSA will be investing $50,000 into a coach education fund. $35,000 will be invested into community coach education, which will see 19 courses at club venues and over 500 community coaches. Working closely with clubs to develop and upskill coaches will strengthen the grassroots community, which will obviously benefit the football community as a whole.
It can only be beneficial because most of the clubs, most of the coaches start off just as parents coaching their kids' teams, and they're learning on the job as much as the kids. So this would be perfect because not only would the kids be getting coached, the coaches will be getting coached.
As a club, we struggle to attract good coaches, and having this sort of funding coming our way will actually allow us to sort of offer more boys and girls out there to actually coach at the club. Everything comes at a cost these days, and this award presented to our club here again will allow our average parents, supporters, players to the opportunity to come out and actually to take on coaching and to be part of it. They've got a passion about this sport and a passion about this club. They'll be able to come here now, get trained up and actually take on the team and just move forward with us here.
The remaining $15,000 will be invested into a joint initiative with NPLSA, Adelaide United and PSV, where selected coaches and technical directors from South Australia will be given the professional development opportunity to go to PSV in October 2025.
Once you get the bug for the coaching, you love it, and you love seeing the kids improve, especially the connection to your club. You want to see the kids come through at your club, and it's just a win-win for everyone.
Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG.
Puts in the penalty and wins the grand final for Campbelltown City. Welcome to Smith Partners Stadium for round 16 of the RAA National Premier League South Australia. We got a bit of a delayed kickoff this afternoon following the reserves playing a little bit earlier this arvo. Shouldn't expect it to be too long, so stick with us. Simon Jimenez with you on commentary duties today. Take a quick little breather while we wait the teams to finish warming up, then we'll go through the lineups. We'll catch you soon.
Did you hear the shout out when Tony spoke to the Nuggets?
Stand behind him. Yeah, he did for dinner the other night, Johnny.
Yeah, he said he did Thursday.
He's fun guy.
He is good. I enjoyed the pub talk as well.
Sorry?
I enjoyed the pub talk as well. Joe was very good. He was had a good time. He was loose, but he was very good.
Johnny's mate was the MC at our 60th presentation.
Yeah, he said he was good.
I said, we'll give Joe the microphone and walk around the room and see what he says.
Oh, that's dangerous.
A lot of people will get up and leave him.
Yeah, it'll be after probably.
If you've just joined us, welcome to Smith Partners Stadium for round 16 of the RAA National Premier League. Running a few minutes behind following the reserves game a little bit earlier, but we are scheduled for kickoff just a couple of minutes for now. Simon Jimenez with you as you commentated today and this afternoon. Modbury Jets host Adelaide City. Last time these two teams met back in round 5, it resulted in a respectful 1-1 draw, with Brissan getting on the score sheet first for Adelaide City and Abdullahi equalising in the 75th minute. But fast forwarding to today, Adelaide City are coming off a 2-0 win against Playford City last week, which put them on 5th spot on the table and broke a 3-game losing streak to that point. 3 points today will put them in contention to climb into 4th spot on the ladder if some other results do go their way, ahead of a really, really tight mid-table at the moment. Let's talk a little bit about our hosts, who are just emerging from the change rooms as we speak. No secret that it's an all-out battle at the moment to get out of the 2-team relegation zone for Morris Natali's men. Currently, Modbury are just 1 point ahead of the bottom side in Adelaide Croatia Raiders, who are also playing this afternoon, with West Torrens Bacalla and Para Hills 3 points ahead of them. So anything less than a win today is something that they won't quite be content with. We'll go through the lineups in just a moment, but we'll let these two sides line up because they're going to be observing a minute of silence, paying tribute to a member of the Modbury Jets family that passed away. So stand by for that, and following we'll go through the lineups of these two sides, and in particular, one key change to Adelaide City. Fitting tribute to one of the past members of the Modbury Jets family. Let's go through the lineup of the hosts today. Wearing the number 1, Alexander Woodlands. Number 2, Paul Wilson. Number 4, Cameron O'Dowdy. Number 5, Tim Henderson. Wearing the number 7, Liam McCabe. Number 8, Jordan O'Dowdy. Number 9, Hamish McCabe. Wearing the captain's armband. Number 10, Jesse Francesca. Number 11, Francesco Scimizzi. Number 13, Daniel Detroit. And number 15, Giuseppe Machida, of course, led by their head coach, Morris Natali. Now the visitors, wearing the number 1, John Hall. Number 5, new player for Adelaide City. Just joined the side during the transfer window. Look out for Noah Smith. Number 7, Daniel Brissan. Number 9, Matthew Dorba, the captain. Number 12, Nicholas Franchisi. Number 20, Yuki Kitano. Number 21, Terence Lynch. Number 22, Juan Gutierrez. Number 23, Vian Kurukwamana. Number 25, Luis Laurie Latanzio. And number 46, Oliver Weston. Our officials today, the referee, Daniel Cook, assisted by Ellie Seaton and Samuel McLeod Banwell. Kickoff will be in just a moment, about 13 minutes delayed. Take a moment to acknowledge some of our supporters. RAA, proud supporters of Football South Australia. And if you love the game, why not study it? Flinders University now offers degrees in sport, teaching, psychology, social work and more at its new city campus. Apply now for mid-year entry. Ready to get underway here at Smith Partners Stadium. And as promised, one key piece of the puzzle here this afternoon will be the man wearing the number 5 for Adelaide City, in Noah Smith, 24-year-old Adelaide lad who's spent time with Adelaide United, both in the NPL and in the senior A-League setup. He joins the side after finishing up with Central Coast Mariners following the 24-25 season. talented left back who has the ball at the moment. Looks like he may be in a bit more of a central role this afternoon. And we'll see if he can be a bit of a missing piece for Adelaide City. Daniel Brisson sending it long, trying to find Laurie Latanzio. On the end of it, doesn't quite get there. And throwing from an advanced position though. Weston. To Smith. Looks like there's been a couple of numbers switched around for Adelaide City, so bear with us for a moment while we do just get that sorted. So here we go, a little bit of a twist because the man that's not on my sheet, wearing the number 23, is Vian Kurikwimana, who was the second pickup for Adelaide City. Former Para Hills player, has also spent time with Adelaide City previously. And will hope to be a bit of a presence in the midfield. As Catano's just cut off in that attempt. Laurie Latanzio tries to send it deep into danger. So some early threats here for Modbury as it's kept in. Early free kick for Modbury, and it'll be brought back. A little bit of a protest from the Modbury bench from Morris Natali, who perhaps thought that should have been played as an advantage. Captain Jesse Francesca finds his way to McCabe, and here's Skimitzi, who's just cut off in a foot race against Adelaide City's new pickup in Noah Smith. He did eventually get that foot to it and fall safely to the hands of John Hall. First little attacking sequence there for Modbury Jets. The man behind it, Francesco Skimitzi, who we can credit for the 87-minute equaliser last week against Campbelltown. Highest scorer for the team in blue today, Francesco Skimitzi. Some interesting storylines leading into this game is the fact that the home side Modbury Jets have actually been winless since round 10, and during the last 5 games they've only taken 3 points. However, there is a little bit of a glimmer of hope because in the last 2 games they've scored 3 times, and both those games have ended in draws. However, they'll well and truly be hoping to go one better today. Laurie Latanzio. He tried to find Daniel Brisson at the end of it, but it's been cut off, and now a chance for Modbury Jets to counter. Machida takes his time to find Jordan O'Dowdy. Yuki Katano. It was just about a nice little ball to find some space there between the sideline and Cameron O'Dowdy, but didn't quite make it as far as Laurie Latanzio. Tim Henderson opts to send it long. Skimitzi manages to pick up a loose ball. Chance to launch it off his left foot, but he had his hands out, so possibly thought that that challenge may have been worthy of a foul. Possibly a little bit ambitious to try claim a penalty at this early stage of the game. Only about 5 minutes or so in on the One World LED and Sportal scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. Henderson linking up with Wilson. Cameron O'Dowdy making up that back 4 on the right-hand side. And a little bit of panic for Modbury Jets here. Not managing to play it forward to an option, rather put out in a rush fashion. And Oliver Weston will throw it in to Noah Smith. Kurukwamana. Apologies. Anything over a couple of syllables I usually struggle with, but we'll get that right before the end of today for the new pickup for Adelaide City this afternoon. Noah Smith, once again, looks like he's been given the job to deal with Hamish McCabe, a man who absolutely can be a handful. Some yells from both benches as Kurukwamana goes to ground. Adelaide City perhaps thinking that was worthy of something. Modbury Jets urging him to get back to his feet. Another one set forward that Skimitsy's going to try run onto, but he's cut off. Just a little pause here with Alex Woodlands, keeper for Modbury Jets, taking a knee, and looks like not sure if he's going to receive any sort of treatment, but drink bottle might be enough to do the trick. He has just touched his ankle and he's looking at his boot at the moment. I'm not quite sure what the concern is, but nonetheless, we're just about ready to resume. And play will be resumed in the other half with Noah Smith, new man in the number 5 for Adelaide City. Catano just bullied off that ball from Henderson. Skimitsi once again trying to find himself on the end of it, create some attacking options. So shy of 10 minutes still on the One World LED and Sportals scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. And so far, neither team really able to make a stamp on this game yet. Probably argue that Adelaide City have been the slightly more convincing looking, but nothing hugely decisive so far. John Hall picks it up in his 18-yard box, and Noah Smith looks to break quickly. Finds the feet of Laurie Latanzio. Fancy footwork. Jordan O'Dowdy's quick to win the ball, and Skimitsi with a chance here. Bounce awkwardly. He's held up inside the 18-yard box. He did a flick there to Hamish McCabe, and not quite sure what the thinking was behind it, but the reaction suggests that it wasn't quite what he pictured in his head, and now the danger's on the other side of the field, or was for just a second, with Laurie Latanzio trying to build something. Highest goal scorer for Adelaide City, wearing the number 25, Lewis Laurie Latanzio, 8 goals scored. He's a versatile player, can play in the middle or he's called into action on either wings at times. Kurukwamana, who looks like he's in more a defensive role of midfield. Yeah, Kurukwamana wearing that number 23. Looks like he's a bit of an anchor of the midfield for Adelaide City. What can Cameron O'Dowdy create from here? Nice little ball through, just about found Jordan O'Dowdy. Not quite, and here is Kurukwamana called into action. Nice slide in and loose ball. Skimitzi got onto the end of it, got the shot off to John Hall, but he won't be rewarded. He's denied both by the keeper and the flag in that instance. Vas Parhas is just below us, giving a couple instructions to Van Kirkwamana. He'll be watching and, I guess, giving instructions very closely, given he has got two new players in this side to manage today. Here's a chance. Dorba struggles to find his footing and get control of that ball, and eventually he goes to ground, and there was a bit of an appeal for a foul there. It looked like it was just inside the 18-yard box, but no whistle blown in the end. Ball instead ends up down the other side, and Oliver Weston will throw it in. Got a pretty busy afternoon of games happening at the moment. One at Croydon kicked off at 2:30 this afternoon. I think two other games starting at 3 o'clock. Here's some danger. Dorba. Daniel Brissan got that last touch goalward, but looked a little bit unconvincing. Just going back to that point of the other games happening this afternoon, as Modbury just struggled to move the ball out a little bit. Laurie Latanzio pressing Paul Wilson, and still they just struggle to get it out of that back third until they sort of rush that clearance. Skimitzi plays that nice ball on, and there's a foot race on at the moment. Weston gets that first touch and plays it back to the Adelaide City keeper in John Hall. Noah Smith. Be a free kick for Adelaide City, and while they get situated for it, let's talk about those other games. Croydon Kings currently trailing at home to Para Hills. Croydon have been in some fine form as of late, but at half-time, the visitors find themselves 1-0 up. And we're 24 minutes in at Playford, and they find themselves up 1-0 against the team currently at the bottom of the ladder, who are locked in as part of the four-way relegation battle with the home side in front of us today, Modbury Jets. So Playford 1, Raiders 0 at the 24-minute mark on the One World LED and Sportal scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. Catano was hoping to take advantage of a loose ball, but Alex Woodland's no issues at all there. However, once again, they just look under some pressure. Modbury trying to clear. 3 players surrounding Joe Machida, and Oliver Weston ends up deflecting it. Looks like it just went to the left-hand side of that corner flag, so it will be a Modbury Jets throw. But some concerns at the moment for the home side, just the fact that they haven't been able to get the ball out of that dangerous area. John Hall didn't quite manage to get it all the way to Matthew Dorba, but Adelaide City will be the beneficiaries of this throw-in. Tall Matthew Dorba, always a bit of a handful. 2 goals to his name so far this season in RAA NPLSA action. Of course, last week he was responsible for the 47-minute goal against Playford, which put them 2-0 up. Of course, it was Yuki Kitano that opened the scoring last week in the 35th minute. And this afternoon, the visitors are playing to potentially climb the ladder. Some results will need to go their way in order to do that. But aside from Northeastern Metro Stars, who are well clear at the top of the ladder at the moment. Everyone between second and, say, sixth, very, very tight at the moment. Chance for Modbury Jets here. Francesco Scamitzi was running into space, but ball wasn't forthcoming. And Joe Machida. Cut off once again. Modbury Jets, they do manage to keep possession. Tidy little ball. Did find Jordan O'Dowdy, and there was a call from the far side, I believe, from Cameron O'Dowdy, but didn't make it that far. Just looking a little bit panicked, has to be said. Modbury at the moment, and a chance here for Adelaide City on the counter. Logan Latunzio has O'Dowdy to deal with, chooses to cross it. Tall-headed Dorber decided to jump for it, but it ends up on the opposite side of the 18-yard box. Franchisi just failing to find the target with that cross. Looks like a lot to play it back on this occasion. We know the ability of Adelaide City to show some urgency and pounce from transitional moments in the game, but it looks at this point they're quite content to be a little patient. And Noah Smith, the pickup for Adelaide City, linking up with their other pickup in Kirkwamana. And initial impressions of Noah Smith back in RAA NPLSA is that he's looking very calm on the ball. Cross short from Laurie Latanzio. Scamitzi's got a bit of a physical matchup to deal with against Smith. Laurie Latanzio, neat ball. Dorber doesn't get there though. Goes to ground after a harsh tackle, but there's no real appeal for any sort of foul there or a penalty. A fair take. Throw will be taken by Oliver Weston, and there's a little bit of discontent from the Modbury Jets bench at the moment. There wasn't a free paid for Modbury Jets. The ref getting his first touch of the game. Daniel Cook ineffective in doing much with that ball except for getting in the way, so just a quick pause in the action at the moment while one of the Modbury players gets a little bit of treatment. Looks like Jordan O'Dowdy played 46 minutes last week, so interesting that he's getting a little bit of treatment, that he only played that first half last week. Possibly something niggling a little bit at the moment, might be one to watch. Of course, we're in the number 8, Jordan O'Dowdy. 2 goals so far this season in RAA and NPLSA action. Former Adelaide United, Western Sydney Wanderers and Newcastle Jets player with 2 Australian under-23 appearances. Kitano eventually did get a touch, but it's ineffective. Tim Henderson tried to send it forward. Initially didn't look like it was going to get to someone, but Hamish McCabe somehow managed to get himself in the region. Just looking at McCabe, he's a little more advanced on the field at the moment. There has been a couple of moments where it's been played forward to Francesco Scamitzi. Hasn't been effective. Perhaps needing some support there, and I wonder if Hamish McCabe's going to be that man. 2 goals for Hamish McCabe so far this season to Francesco Scamitzi's 5. Hamish can, of course, also boast the 2024 Sergio Melter medal. In fact, he's won it 2 times. He was also the Golden Boot winner in 2022 with 20 goals during that season. So, capable companion to Francesco Scamitzi in the Modbury Jets attack. Around about 20 minutes or so in at the moment on the One World LED and Sportal scoreboard. Of course, I believe it was about 13 minutes late that we got play underway this afternoon. Now a chance here for Modbury Jets to possibly send it into the 18-yard box and just see if there's any tall heads to receive it and get the advantage in this first half. John Hall, not phased, comes off his line and claims it just outside of the 6-yard box. Smith. John Hall just being really patient. Kurakumana gets his feet tangled up. Smith chose the long option, hoping to find Catano, who didn't get there, but a dangerous ball. Morris Natali unimpressed from the Modbury Jets bench, and again, just a scrambled attempts to clear here for Modbury Jets. Hamish McCabe plays it to his brother Liam. Loses possession, just another frantic little moment there, but another chance for Adelaide City in the end to build up from the back. Smith to Weston and Brissan and Kurakumana. One of the 2 pickups for Adelaide City. Looks like he's settled into that central defensive midfielder role. Some little frustration showing here for Modbury Jets, and Adelaide City seem quite content to just be really patient to deal with that. You do get the sense that they'll continue to do so and wait for their time to come. Meanwhile, we're still away off half-time here at Smith Partners Stadium, and Modbury Jets really just need to reorganise a little bit. Noel Smith certainly coming in and been a bit of a source of composure for Adelaide City so far. Weston, the receiving end of that press. Scamitzi puts McCabe on the end of it. Some footwork to try open up some space on the left. I doubt he gets that shot off eventually off his left foot. There's about 3 different Modbury players there that managed to have possessions in that 18-yard box, but none with any space in front of them to make something of it. Both Hamish and Liam McCabe under a little bit too much pressure. And Jordan O'Dowdy, the touch off the left. Didn't look convincing, although there wasn't a huge piece of empty net in front of him. Flick there, finds its way to McCabe. Cameron O'Dowdy just opted not to cross it and try to carry it in. Perhaps not the right decision in that instance. Dorber wins that aerial battle. Liam McCabe picks out Joe Machida, and a couple of moments in the last minute or so for Modbury Jets, who seem to have dialed up the intensity. And Skimitzi with a chance here. It's a great stride off that right boot. Just found enough space to get a clean shot off, but found that post. Liam McCabe tried to cook something else up from that far side, but not to be. But Modbury will go away with a corner kick for their efforts. Captain Jesse Francesca will take this. Of course, he can take the confidence from last week, his 70th minute goal, which was a penalty against Campbelltown. Ended up being a draw last week. That was the first goal to start off that effort to eventually equalise. Sends it right into the danger area. It was Dorber, I think, that got ahead to it in the end. And still the battle's on. And rather than win possession, Tim Henderson decided to just let that go out. And Cameron O'Dowdy chooses the short option for the throw-in. Weston clears. Thought our cameraman might have been about to get his first touch of the game just then. Hamish McCabe just working to try to stretch Oliver Weston a little bit. So right after we sort of called about 5 minutes ago just for Modbury Jets to reorganise a little bit, looks like they've done exactly that. And they're making Adelaide City chase a little bit here. Using every part of this pitch just to spread them wide and being a little bit more patient in their build-up. Henderson under a little bit of pressure from Kitano. But Modbury are really moving the ball differently. Liam McCabe's in a ton of space there and didn't quite make it to his brother Hamish. Liam just tried to win that ball and went to ground. But a chance here for Adelaide City as Matthew Dorber fights for it against Jesse Francesca. Now it's the Modbury captain that looks like he came off second best to that. It looks like Daniel Cook, the referee's going to check on him. And yeah, however, it's going to be an Adelaide City free kick. Daniel Brissan will take this off his right boot. With the Adelaide City players just lining up just inside of that 18-yard box. It's like they will try to rush in and get ahead to it. Matthew Dorber, who's probably the tallest player on the team, looks in prime position. Kick not quite taken precisely enough in the end, though. Cam O'Dowdy just managed to get a touch on that. Now Weston's in an advanced position trying to cook something up. Laurie Latanzio. This ball takes that deflection from Jordan. So a little bit of a moment for Adelaide City here. Can Modbury sort of try calm things down a little bit and get some of the momentum that they've seemed to have been able to build over the last 10 minutes or so? Can't quite see who's getting the treatment behind the trainer there. As number 10 shows itself, so it's the captain in Jesse Francesca. Of course, he came in second best after he found Dorber just a couple of minutes ago. And he's sort of limping next to the sideline at the moment, so it'll be interesting. Trying to jog it off now. Throw for Modbury Jets means the Modbury Jets captain can re-enter the field, which he does. Around about 13 minutes to go in this half. Committee. No doubt he was caught kicking air for a moment there. Wound up. Unfortunately, the ball wasn't there to go on the end of his foot. Quick check-in with the results of the other game sees no changes since last time. We are underway in the second half at Croydon, where Para Hills still in the lead 1-0 after 55 minutes. Playford still leading against Raiders in the 43rd. Did just get notification, though, that Croatia Raiders captain in Anthony Costa came off around the 30-minute mark with an injury, which is a little bit of concern for the struggling Adelaide Croatia Raiders. Despite the fact they're in bottom position of the RAA NPLSA ladder, they do have that cup fixture coming up just a couple of weeks from now. And of course, July 12th, the big Federation Cup final against Metro Stars. By the way, you can pick up your tickets right now at the Football SA website. And of course, the other side of that fixture in North Eastern Metro Stars, they're in action tonight. Their usual fixture, 7:30 Saturday night. We'll see them face Adelaide United Youth tonight, so it should be an interesting one. And of course, all the action will it be at FSA Leagues on YouTube. And I'll actually be on that game as well with Lucas Ronaldo a little bit later. So if you do decide to tune in, please do. Should be a good one. Look forward to your company then. So Adelaide City now just trying to get a little bit of that momentum back after a bit of stalling in the action after Modbury sort of looked to be getting the better of things. Krokomana links up with Weston and he finds Kitano. Put over though by Paul Wilson. And although Adelaide City are trying to build a little bit now, it seems like Modbury Jets are just dealing with their attacks a little bit more capably, not quite as frantic as they were perhaps in the first half of this first half. Wearing the number 9, Matthew Dorber, the big target man up forward. Of course, he's doing the job of captain in Nick Bucco's absence. One of the Modbury Jets players has just gone down after copping a ball to the face. The way he's gone down, and he's just got up to his knees now, but pretty slow to do so, and looks like he's just going to receive a little bit of attention. And it looks like there's just been a call from the Modbury Jets bench as well to get one of their bench players ready. So will we see a change here? Perhaps. As Tim Henderson slowly makes his way to his feet. He looks to be fine, although yep, he was walking towards the touchline a second ago there, but looks like he's perhaps just trying to shake it off. Although, no, he will go over that far sideline. And wearing the number 27 Joku Wall is just preparing himself at the moment, rolling the socks up, so if needed to be called into action, he'll be ready. But Tim Henderson has made his way back onto the field as Scamitzi just tries to get the better of Fergus Lynch, who ends up on the end of that tidy little flick from, I believe it was Daniel Brissan. And here's Tim Henderson being called to action. Manages to body Yuki Kitano off the ball. Ball forward from Modbury Jets was just a little bit poor. Liam McCabe looked to have called for it, and that seemed to vaguely be the anticipated target. However, chance for John Hall to just reorganise his Adelaide City back four, consisting of Oliver Weston on the left-hand side now. The new pickup in Noah Smith, Fergus Lynch. Juan Gutierrez on the right, able to bolster Adelaide City's defensive efforts. Another little pause here. Fergus Lynch will take this free kick, so been very stop-start throughout the second part of this first half as we do slowly get closer to half-time. Weston feeds it to Kitano. Nice little flick back to Laurie Latanzio, but three Modbury players around him just trying to block him off. Smith, Lynch, and Kwamana, two out of those three names new to the black and white strip for this week. Kitano looked like he might have wound up for just a second. Brissan was the one to try his luck from well way out in the end. The shot didn't look overly convincing in the end, but nonetheless an opportunity which he attempted to take. Again, bit of a delay in just getting play underway. That time from Alex Woodlands, taking his time for that goal kick. Dorba sort of faked that pass off to the side to Gutierrez and tried to do it himself, but does end up on that right-hand side, and they might even switch it now. Smith carrying it through the middle on his own. Takes that support from Weston, but it's spilled. Here's Smith again trying to mount a bit of an attack. Link up with Dorba, unsuccessful in the end. Looks like an Adelaide City corner kick will be what eventuates here. With 39 minutes on the One World LED and Sportal scoreboard. To be perfectly honest, first half hasn't exactly flown by. A better start to the match certainly went to Adelaide City. Well, Modbury Jets just looked a little bit loose at the back and struggled to get things under control. Then it was Modbury that managed to build a little bit of momentum as that shot's just let off. It looked like Gutierrez not out of danger here, Modbury. Although that one's cut off. And Henderson with a chance to try and move it forward. Looks like Adelaide City just trying to turn up the pressure a little bit in the closing 5 minutes of this half. Had plenty of stoppages during the first half, so I wonder if we may have a little bit of time to go yet. Final ball from Cano Dowdy. No good. Much to the frustration of a few of the spectators here at Smith Partners Stadium. And while things are stopping and starting here, looks like action's going down on a couple of the other games. All locked up at Croydon at the moment, with the home team equalising. 65 minutes on the clock there, and 59-minute goal from the home side. Croydon sees them go on equal terms. And Adelaide Croatia Raiders, in the dying moments of the first half, in fact the third minute of additional time, have managed to equalise. So shaping up for an interesting second half there at Playford. What can Modbury and Adelaide City produce in the final 5 minutes or so in this particular fixture of round 16 of the REA National Premier League South Australia? I think a bit of a grind is the best way to describe it. The manner at which Modbury are trying to move it forward. Speaking of a grind, Matthew Dorber picks up a yellow card. He's never afraid to make it a physical contest. However, this could be a potential chance here for Modbury Jets. Wearing the captain's armband, it'll be Jesse Francesca, who was the first half of the equalising effort in the 70th minute last week by converting from the penalty spot. Will take this delivery in from his right foot and hopefully in-swing it for one of the Modbury Jets' bodies to put it in the back of the net beyond John Hall. Hamish McCabe's right in the middle. Liam next to him. Hamish McCabe noticeably a little bit stronger looking for this season, so a bit of a physical presence. A chance for him here. Loose ball. Somehow. Home side don't manage to convert. Initial shot from McCabe off that left boot. Did well to find its way through some space. There's a deflection, then an open net for one of the other Modbury players to try and take advantage of. Doesn't manage to do so. They'll be kicking themselves for that. But maybe an opportunity for redemption in the dying moments of this half. Off this corner kick, that'll be taken by Jordan O'Dowdy. Joe Machida is the man who's up front and centre at the moment, wearing that number 15. Hamish McCabe and Liam McCabe not too far behind to reinforce. Just went a little bit past Liam McCabe there, who tried to do a little flick and possibly a little bit fancier than it needed to be. Smith with a great first touch to control. Nice and calm in that centre-back position throughout this first half. Kwamana finds Kitano. Flag went up during a bit of a moment of uncertainty there for Modbury Jets. Kitano just relentlessly pressing high and trying to do so against the man in the bright green today, Alex Woodlands, between the sticks for Modbury Jets. Vaspar has just trying to wheel a bit of urgency out of his players in the dying moments of this half. McCabe ended up running into a bit of a brick wall in the form of Fergus Lynch, despite looking like he handily outbodied him. He was cut off, and some drama in the other half now. Yuki Kitano trying to break there. Ended up getting tripped, and Cameron O'Dowdy's just having some words with Paul Wilson at the moment, and now looks like a bit of a fracas as one of the McCabe brothers, looks like Liam, trying to get a word in. Kitano is just going to receive a little bit of treatment. Admittedly, the initial reaction, although I haven't watched a replay of it, looked like he was trying to make sure that he was seen in going to ground, but he's receiving some treatment now, and although he is up to his feet. Might be a last-minute chance here for Adelaide City. Just having a look at the replay of that. Wasn't a terrible lot in that touch there. Looked like perhaps Kitano's back foot was just caught, putting him off balance. Didn't seem like the strongest of challenges. But nonetheless, there's no result from that free kick anyway. And the whistle goes to wind up this first half at Smith Partners Stadium, all locked up in round 16 of the RAA National Premier League South Australia. Modbury Jets versus Adelaide City. Chance to regroup for these sides and maybe come out with just a tad bit more action in the second. But speaking of action, don't miss the action on July 12th with the Federation Cup final between Metro Stars and Adelaide Croatia Raiders. Make sure you get your tickets. The Football SA website, the place to go to pick up yours. Simon Jimenez with you this afternoon, and I'll catch you shortly for the second half.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
What I'm excited about, like the most, how we can come together, learn about everybody, because we're not the same, but we're somehow the same.
The community came to government to express their concerns about young people. It is our role to listen and it's our role to act.
There's so many kids wanting to play the game from all walks of life.
African Youth Program was established to help Africans with sport, cultural identity, mentorship,
Having a program that's going to target the African children, given it's their sport of choice, presents a huge opportunity to link participation in football with education, which is a perfect mix.
I think the African Youth Program will be a very inclusive program with different teams, different schools coming to play with us.
It's like a very big opportunity to expand skills, knowledge, and in different areas of life.
Most of the kids will grow from this program to be able to become valuable, positive contributors in our society.
Like a voice to be spoken with and not being scared to show your skills.
This empowerment program has many different aspects to it, and of course sport is one of those, but it's actually really about finding your place in the world.
I think everybody's pushing in the one direction to make sure that we can make a real difference.
It's not just a game, it's a very passionate sport that millions of people around the world love to play. That's what football is.
Puts in the penalty and wins the grand final for Campbelltown City.
We all play the same game. The battlefield may look different, but between those painted lines, the feeling each of us get alongside our tribe. Let the moment sink in, then let it rip. The runs out wide, last-ditch efforts and clean sheets. The tap-in or rocket to the top bins. The eruption of the 12th player that sends shivers down your spine. It's in the way we celebrate, because football is everyone's game. Play football.
It's deemed as an Italian club. That's a bit fictitious. They called it Salisbury Internationale because that's what it was. It was full of internationals from all walks of life, and it continues to be that. Obviously we had an Italian background, right, but throughout the 50 years, it's been a big dynamics, and it's still changing, so it's great.
I think it's an exciting opportunity. Obviously the new State League 2 system, got the North and South, and I think the final series is definitely something that we want to be a part of and want to be involved in, so it's definitely an exciting opportunity.
Yeah, when I seen State League 2 North, I was all over it. I don't want to travel at all, so I was all about it. Wife was all about it.
Always been a Northern boy. I'm 30 seconds down the road. Played for this club for 4 years a while ago, and it's just my family as well, been here as well, so it means a lot.
Everyone around the club's been so welcoming. All the people on the committee and around the club were so nice from day one, and same with the players. Got some nice experienced players out here who are really nice and welcoming to some of our younger players, so that's been really nice to have.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
Coles Mini Roos is more than just football. It is a place to find our feet, learn new skills, and meet new friends. Football starts here. Find your place. Join our team.
For Skimitsi against Ulash. Still trying to win against Skimitsi. Oh, and a save with the legs from Delangus. A space to run into. Amanda has one in the centre. Does reach him. Needs to find the angle for the hit. And it's a good save by Woodlands. Taking it out for a corner.
Even better save this one than the previous one.
Stem as well. Yeah.
It's hard to.
Sent it in! Oh, Signorello, what a save! He puts a fist behind it and sends it for a corner.
Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. Fixed price turnkey. It's gotta be HPG.
Welcome back for the second half. Round 16 of the RA8 National Premier League South Australia's fixture here at Smith Partners Stadium. Modbury Jets hosting Adelaide City. 0-0 is where we stand at the moment after a first half that had moments for both sides, but in the end it just looked like a bit of an arm wrestle. Probably the most convincing opportunity for either side came really late in the piece for Modbury Jets. Liam McCabe getting a shot off his left foot into some pretty congested space, and the ball copying a deflection, and I'm not quite sure who it was from Modbury Jets that got the second touch on it, but basically didn't manage to find the back of the net in the end. So a little bit of a quiet affair here in terms of goals, but there has been some goals scored elsewhere. Last check, Croydon were 3-1 up at home against Para Hills, and it looks like that's still at the case. And it's now the 86th minute mark in that game. So the home team initially trailed Para Hills after a 36th minute goal by Amanda for Para Hills, but 59th minute goal for Trimboli. Martinello converting from the spot in the 67th, and Trimboli getting one more in the 71st. Makes it look like Croydon will finish that home fixture with a win. And a couple of goals at Playford as well. Raiders now find themselves leading away from home. 55th minute mark. Kingburn scored in extra time of this first half, and then 52nd minute as well. 55th minute in that particular game. At the moment, just about ready to restart as the Adelaide City players come back on. Of course, we appreciate our support. RAA, proud supporters of Football South Australia. And if you love the game, why not study it? Flinders University now offers degrees in sport, teaching, psychology, social work and more at its new city campus. Apply now for mid-year entry. Daniel Cook will get us back underway in a moment. Just having a bit of a scan of both teams. Can't see anyone immediately that's come on to be a change for either side. Although I did have the privilege during halftime of meeting the Weston family. And they told me that their son, Oliver, for Adelaide City would love to come up against his former teammate in Patrick McGregor, who's on the bench at the moment for the home side Modbury Jets. What can Adelaide City produce from here? And the whistle's already gone with an Adelaide City player down holding his ankle. It'll result in a free kick from a pretty advanced position. Not quite 2 metres outside of that 18-yard box, and it'll be a three-man wall for Modbury Jets. So forced to defend early. And he's a little bit far away from me, but it looks like Laurie Latunzio will take this free kick. A little bit of carry on with the 18-yard box, and Daniel Cook, our referee, is just trying to make sure everything's under control. It's a nice delivery that ends up straight to the hand of Alex Woodlands, who tries to get it to Francesco Scaminci quickly, but Oliver Weston's in the way of it, and now he tries to form a little bit of a counter-attack. Short-lived, and what can Modbury Jets make from here? Hamish McCabe tried to centre it into the path of Francesco Scaminci, but being marked just a little bit too tightly in the end. think we've got the McCabe clan not too far from me at the moment. I did see another McCabe shirt. Might be the mythical third brother that we've heard about. Adelaide City. Daniel Brisson trying to run forward as an option. And Matthew Dorber is just beyond Kitano. Scoring finally opened in the second half. And it's the visitors. Yuki Kitano finds the back of the net. So a little bit too much attacking threat in the end for Adelaide City. The trio of Brisson, Kitano, Dorber all presenting. In the middle in the end, it was the middle option in Yuki Kitano who just managed to sneak it past Alex Woodlands. And the advantage is with Adelaide City. Early days in this second half, though, and the two other games that are happening right at the moment also standing. Last check is the team that initially went down managed to equalise and even get in front. Can Modbury Jets do that at home? Skimitsi. Denied by an aggressive Juan Gutierrez. And initially just a little bit more oomph and urgency about this fixture. Did have some moments where it looked a little bit slow in that first half, if we're being completely honest about the play, particularly that second half. Both teams just locked into an arm wrestle and not managing to really get that free-flowing football off. But with Modbury Jets forced to be a little bit more aggressive here, we might see a little bit of a change with that. No doubty. Troy up. Wilson. Laura Latanzio pursuing aggressively, being wheeled on by the Adelaide City bench and his coach, Vaspar Haas. Of course, to revisit the stakes for both these teams. For Modbury Jets, they're in a big battle, big 14 battle, big bottom four battle rather, around those bottom two spots on the ladder, those two relegation spots. Before this game started, they were second from the bottom. So 3 points critical today. Adelaide City, they're trying to undo some recent losses, in particular a 3-game losing streak up until last week, to get some form back and start climbing the ladder once again. We do know that Croydon look to, well, it looks as if they're going to finish this round with a win. That'll be the first game we see the end of in the RA NPLSA for this week. Currently they're 3-1 up in 90-something minutes, thanks to the Trimboli brace. Second spot in the ladder. Croydon looks like they'll maintain that. And Raiders leading Playford. Raiders are the only team below Modbury at the moment. So some extra pressure on the home team, the Jets, as McCabe tries to get it through. He's got the help of his brother there. Unfortunately, he's also got Gutierrez in front of him, but they will get a corner kick. Or a throw-in, rather, from an advanced position. Lee McCabe. Cameron O'Dowdy right in the middle, on the edge of that front third. Tim Henderson manages to pick out Daniel Detroit nicely, and he was just cut off inside the 18-yard box. Another throw-in for Modbury Jets, as they seem to be just dialing up the intensity here at home. Of course, Adelaide United yet to play. They'll do so this afternoon against North Eastern Metro Stars. that result may affect where Adelaide City will be at the end of the round. Adelaide Comets and Campbelltown to kick off at 5 o'clock, and FK Beergrad and West Torrens Bacalla also kicking off at 5 o'clock. Beergrad will have implications for Adelaide City. West Torrens Bacalla may have some implications for the home side here in Modbury Jets. Laurie Latanzio, too many L's, sorry mate. Laurie Latanzio trying to produce something for an advanced position for Adelaide City. And we mentioned at the start of the game, but worth talking again because it's probably one of the more interesting things going into these games, the fact that there's 2 new players in the traditional black and white of Adelaide City this afternoon. Noah Smith returns to the RAA NPL South Australia from his A-League stint at Central Coast Mariners. Alex Woodlands called into action. And just to finish that final thought, Deanne Kurikwamana joining Adelaide City from Para Hills. Matthew Dorber trying to put some pressure on Daniel Detroyer. Laurie Latanzio again. Here's Noah Smith. Searching for Dorber, but gets cut off by the head of Detroyer. Not a bad outcome, though, for Adelaide City with a high throw-in. Kumana. He's been that midfield defensive support throughout this afternoon. And Smith with the ball at his feet now, who's been impressive this afternoon. Bit of a calmness about him. Looking a very comfortable part of his new side. Of course, he's been a part of Adelaide United, both the NPL and A-League in his past. Also spent time at Melbourne Victory, Brisbane Roar, before going to Central Coast Mariners for a second stint. But he returns home to see out this RAA NPLSA season. Also worth pointing out for Adelaide City, a NPL debutant last week in Dion Petropoulos. I believe he's on the bench today. And Nicholas Bucco, Adelaide City captain, is still absent. And I believe he has been throughout the entire month of June.
Balance chase, balance chase.
Daniel Detroyer sends it to Hamish McKay, but that initial touch, not good enough. Noah Smith under some pressure and choose to play it over that far sideline. Again, these efforts up forward from Modbury just continue to be a little bit of a grind. And yet to see any payoff for their efforts. Well, they certainly have sort of stepped things up following that goal from Adelaide City. Just a lack of clear-cut chances so far. Gutierrez. Catano. Nicholas Franchise didn't manage to find any space between the Modbury players. Here comes Kamitsi. getting a hard time from Oliver Weston. It's been a bit of a struggle this afternoon, safe to say, for the Modbury Jets striker and highest goal scorer for this year, Francesco Schimitzi. Ball goes over the sideline and it looks like one of the Modbury players will be checked on. Daniel Cook will put a quick pause on play and some treatment will be offered. Always a little bit concerning when you see a player reaching for the face, and I believe I see the bit of yellow armbands, so that suggests that it's Jesse Francesca. Morris Natali's just called Liam McCabe over, and he's got the tactics board with one of his assistants. Some instructions and possibly a little bit of a switch around for Modbury Jets to see how they can see about equalising. Might be a good time to check in while there's a brief pause in play with the other game happening. That's result could affect how the ladder might look following this game, and that's Playford hosting Adelaide Croatia Raiders. Raiders in final spot on the ladder, and in the 70th minute mark they lead Playford at the moment. So that means if both of these fixtures stay as they are at the moment, Raiders will leap ahead of Modbury Jets, but still a lot of game to play out here at Smith Partners Stadium. Dorber's in the middle, but Henderson gets in front of him. McCabe under some pressure from Franchise. Jesse Francesca dancing around it and not looking like the same man that was on the floor moments ago. Jordan O'Dowdy trying to open up Adelaide City just a little bit. Modbury Jets just attempting to use the width of this pitch a little bit. That did look like what was possibly going better for them during maybe a 10-minute period in the first half, when they were moving the ball a lot more confidently side to side, trying to just spread Adelaide City wide and make them chase a little bit. Aside from that period, it looked a bit uncertain throughout most of this afternoon for Modbury Jets. Looks like we've got to change in a minute for Modbury Jets. Zachariah Abdullahi is getting ready to come on, wearing the number 12 for Modbury. A 19-year-old with one goal so far this season. See if he can do something, possibly even double his tally this afternoon and make a difference for Modbury at home. Kurikwamana wins that. Gutierrez. Yuki Gitano tried to just head it onto an advantageous position for him, but he was under too much pressure in the end. And here's that change coming for Modbury Jets. Zachariah Noor Abdullahi will come on. And Joe Machida has come off via the far end, and it looks like Abdullahi's just brought some instructions onto the field with him. He's just having a quick word with Hamish McCabe. Catano using his body cleverly. And it looks like the Adelaide City bench are getting ready to make a couple of changes of their own. Binyam Kabidi and Bruce Kamau both getting ready to come on. Both of these players came on in the second half last week. For Kabidi, it was 64-minute mark for Dorba. And for Kamau, it was the 71-minute mark for Daniel Brissan. Of course, last week, they were 2-0 up by this stage. Corner. Well cut up by Skamitsi. And here's that fresh sub in Abdullahi. Skamitsi battling to win the ball back again. Well picked up by Modbury Jets and a chance on the counter. Weston came in with some momentum behind him there. He's taking a moment. Looks like Weston has also picked up a yellow card for his troubles. And it'll be a free kick as well for the Modbury captain, Jesse Francesca. For a team whose opportunities this afternoon have been pretty few and far between. An opportunity to lock things up this afternoon. John Hall opts to punch it away with a few bodies around him. And it's in still a dangerous spot. John Hall managed to get himself in the path between that delivery and Francesco Skamitsi. And now a chance for Adelaide City on the counter-attack. Their top goal scorer, Lewis Laurie-Latanzio, picks out Brissan. Abdullahi links up with Dorba. And here's one Gutierrez. Kurikwamana working to pick that one up. And here comes that change for Adelaide City. Wearing the number 14. Binyam Kabidi came on last week for Matthew Dorba, and he will do so this afternoon as well. Some height replaced with a little bit more height for this corner. Now, in the meantime, one of the Modbury players has gone to ground. And maybe Skamitsi. I can just about confirm that it is. Noah Smith will take this corner for City. Launch that in-swinger off his left boot. Just a few yards beyond the 6-yard box. Adelaide City will go away with another opportunity. This time, Daniel Brisson off his right boot. Yuki Kitano giving Hamish McCabe a little bit of a hard time just on the edge of the 6-yard box, opposite end of this kick. Abdullahi with a bit of pace behind him. Foot race on with Laurie Latanzio. Modbury do win the free kick, but Kurikwamana was very clever just to take that ball away from to not allow Modbury to take that quicker than he would have liked. Brisson in pursuit of Modbury, and Kitano almost caught Henderson napping there. It's frustration showing for Modbury at the moment, evident in their body language a little bit. Not a huge gulf between these two teams in terms of what's on the One World LED and Sportal scoreboard, but just not able to gather any momentum. Modbury long ball, that'll find Kitano. Paul Wilson had something to say about that, but high throw in Adelaide City. Well, some late drama for a couple of the other games, but we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. Liam McCabe finds Abdullahi, tries to feed it back to McCabe in the middle, but Fergus Lynch is there to pick it up. Kurikwamana. Brisson uses his head. Get the feeling Adelaide City will be in no hurry here to take this throw in. At the 70th minute mark. Liam McCabe with a bit of a softball there. And Alex Woodlands forced to spring to action there to make up for that little error there. Just a poor ball that didn't quite make it all the way to Tim Henderson, and Adelaide City was certainly ready to pounce, as they will be here from this corner kick. Now, I alluded to some drama in the other games, and things have all wrapped up at Croydon, where we did see a late goal, but there has been an equaliser at Playford, but we'll talk about that more in a moment. It's Adelaide City corner, front post from Daniel Brisson, and he'll get a second goal after that went out off of Skamitsi. Kurikwamana gets that shot off. Managed to just get enough beyond the defender to launch that. Adelaide City will make another change. Bruce came on in the 71st minute last week for Daniel Brisson. But this week he'll come on around the same time. But it's Juan Gutierrez that will hand over the armband. Bruce Kamau will put on the sleeve of, I thought it was going to be Brissan, but didn't quite make it that far. Abdullahi. Catano. Really clever ball, almost to find Laurie Latanzio. Fortunately, Cameron O'Doherty's awake to it, and he's been pretty solid defensively for this game. Maybe even a standout for Modbury Jets, who, to be honest, just seem like they're really struggling all afternoon. That's unless someone can do something, be the hero in this last 20 minutes. Tim Henderson. Nicholas Franchese will take the throw in. Nice ball to find Caviti. He battles just beyond Francesca. Little rush clearance for Modbury. Skamitzi would have loved to have get on the end of that, but he's just been struggling to find those all afternoon. Here's Skamitzi called into action. Dwarfing Nicholas Franchise next to him. Decides to play the ball into a little bit of space. Had some success earlier this game. Modbury just trying to spread City wide. They did eventually get the shot off there. Came from Jordan O'Doherty in the end. John Hall will opt to clear that long. Yuki Kitano using his body once again. He gets a little cuddle from Tim Henderson for his troubles. Daniel Cook just giving some pretty direct instructions to Franchise, telling him no nonsense, take the throw in. Comes off a Bruce Kamau. And a Modbury throw in. Francesco Skamitzi presents, but doesn't get beyond Binyam Caviti. Francesco Skamitzi with well-timed bump, but doesn't manage to win the ball. And Liam McCabe there probably just showing a little bit of frustration as he put that one over. There's games where it just doesn't seem to be your day, and that certainly seems to be the case for Modbury, but still enough time to change things and not a huge gap to bridge to change the outcome of this game. As Jesse Francesca hands over the armband. And Patrick McGregor is the player that will take his place for Modbury Jets. I mentioned a little bit earlier that Oliver Weston from Adelaide City, his parents came past and mentioned that young Ollie Weston would have loved the opportunity to play against Patrick McGregor, given the two played plenty of junior football together. So there's possibly one to watch for you. McGregor wearing the number 6 in the blue, and Oliver Weston wearing the number 46 for Adelaide City. Modbury Jets continuing to try build some attacking momentum. Firm push in the back. Cameron O'Doherty, the recipient, courtesy of Bruce Kamau. And another free kick opportunity for Modbury Jets. They haven't been short of these sort of on the edge of that front third of the field, but haven't managed to produce yet this afternoon. Now's the chance to do something dramatic in the last 15 minutes or so of this game. Liam McCabe, Hamish McCabe, and Patrick McGregor. Liam McCabe ends up being the 1-2. Offload it. Second chance for Modbury. Patrick McGregor got the shot off. Hamish McCabe will do the sweeping up. Although Nicholas Franchise there to cut that idea short. Finally, that ball's claimed by Adelaide City. Short-lived counter-attack attempt. Bruce Kamau, right place at the right time. And Adelaide City rush numbers up. Little tussle between Bruce Kamau and Zachariah Abdullahi. Kamau, the player that seems to have come off second best. You do get the sense, though, that game management mode's in effect for Adelaide City. Daniel Cook did mention before, when there was a throw-in just below us, that Adelaide City were to get things restarted quickly. Although Adelaide City happy to get things re-going there again after the referee did eventually call for a little bit of attention, but they've got straight up and they'll get things back underway. Abdullahi, he got his foot to it, got a nice little flick off, but didn't get to where it wanted it to go. Laurie Latanzio doesn't manage it to get it past Cameron O'Doherty, which I mentioned before has had a decent shift this afternoon. I think maybe one of the more solid efforts as far as the Modbury side this afternoon. You can tell things just not falling into place for Modbury so far this arvo. Now, action stalled a little bit, so we might finally have the opportunity to revisit some games from a little bit earlier, and there's been a further update. So first, let's talk about Croydon. Hosted Para Hills this afternoon. Initially went 1-0 down in the first half, but ended up with a big 4-1 win thanks to a 94th minute goal. I'd love to know who scored that one, because Alexander Goods made a habit of scoring really late for Croydon. And I think 94th minute may even be his lucky number. So far, no one's been credited to it, so it'll be interesting if that becomes 3 weeks in a row for him. Nonetheless, big result for Croydon once again, and I believe it's their 6th win in the row at this point. And the other one is Playford hosting bottom of the team, Adelaide Croatia Raiders. Now, Croatia are the other side of this bottom two with Modbury Jets at the moment. And Raiders did find them at 1 point, 2-1 up. However, they now find themselves 3-2 down. And it looks like the dying moments of that game as well. So 71st minute goal for Playford, and then a 90-minute penalty converted from the spot. So looks like Raiders will keep their position at the bottom of the ladder, much to their own frustration, but possibly might be a bit of a source of relief for Modbury Jets this afternoon. Keep in mind, though, West Torrens Bacalla still to play this afternoon. And they're another important piece of the puzzle also. $82 minutes on the One World LED and Sportal scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. Substitution happening below us for Adelaide City. Dion Petropoulos, wearing the number 70, will come on. Make an appearance for the second week in a row following last week's NPL debut. 4 goals from 11 starts in reserves for Dion Petropoulos. So a chance for him to continue to impress in the dying moments. And of course, we expect a rush to the finish line for Modbury Jets to try take some points out of this game. Points that they're desperately in need of at the bottom of the RAA NPLSA ladder. Liam McCabe, with plenty of numbers in the middle, chooses the short option. Jordan O'Doherty just trying to give himself a little bit of space in his battle against Binyam Kebede. Kebede manages to intercept and win that time, but Henderson's there to win it back. High ball just landed on the head of McCabe, but was under a bit too much pressure to do anything with it. Daniel Detroit tried to keep that ball up front, but unfortunately it was all to Adelaide City bodies. Now Alex Woodlands will choose to roll it out to the short option. Can Modbury build something from the back? Patrick McGregor. Binyam Kebede continuing to do some pressing for Adelaide City. Tim Henderson staying busy in the middle of the park. Now Henderson even comes back to be the recipient of that short one. Once again from Alex Woodlands. A little bit more frustration on the field from Modbury Jets. It's certainly been a tough day at the office, but they will make a change and try to get some new reinforcements on the field. Lachlan Wilson, who came on for the second half last week, is ready, as is Joku Wall, who was warming up for a brief moment in the first half. Thought he might have had to come on to assist, but he's been forced to wait a little bit longer. Jordan O'Doherty ends up with ball at his feet. He's got Abdullahi trying to open up some space. He does end up with the ball. Jordan O'Doherty again. Jordan O'Doherty certainly one of those players that have shown a big effort this afternoon. Again, just a frustrating afternoon for him. Did start a little bit late this afternoon, about 13 minutes late for our scheduled kickoff, so this game will conclude after Croydon Kings already wrapped up, and Playford will likely do so against Raiders shortly. Cam O'Doherty. Henderson. Final chance here. Called final chance, but probably a little bit premature here. It's still a few minutes to go for Modbury Jets, but they want to get cracking. Adelaide City just looking a little bit loose up back. Modbury Jets would love to take advantage. Liam McCabe giving a helping hand and putting that ball right on the spot for John Hall, ensuring that they can't soak up any of this valuable time left. John O'Doherty makes his way to the bench, as does Liam McCabe. Again, big work rate for both of those players this afternoon. But just a frustrating afternoon for Modbury Jets. Paul Wilson came over the head of Joku Wall. Abdullahi, what can he create? 4 opposite shirts in front of him. There's the shot! McGregor, very nearly the late hero. The shot was good. Abdullahi was under a ton of pressure. It was 3 black and white shirts in front of him with another one approaching. But it was McGregor that got the clean shot on it. John Hall called into action. Here comes the corner. McCabe, big Joku Wall, came in to try and get his tall head to it. And now John Hall's gone to ground. The ball's still in play. Alex Woodlands will send this long, although looks like the whistle's gone. Daniel Cook's attending to John Hall. Can this potentially be a source of late drama? I wasn't counting the substitutions, but I believe 3 or 4 was the number from Adelaide City. The call for some treatment was pretty immediate from John Hall, and they stalled play pretty quickly. Alex Woodlands was approaching the halfway line to get a clearance on it, so it could have very nearly been a big chance for Modbury Jets there, so it'll be interesting to see how plays restarted. 89 minutes on the clock at the moment. There will be additional time added. Alex Woodland still has the ball at his feet around the halfway mark. So he's ready to get play restarted as soon as possible. So John Hall's now at his feet. A substitution either won't be made or can't be made. He's doubled over at the moment. I'd say his body language doesn't give you the most confidence if you're an Adelaide City supporter here. Alex Woodlands launches it. Oliver Weston was just defending some ground ahead of John Hall there, and he gets his foot up to it. He's jogging quite gingerly, has to be said at the moment, John Hall. Henderson over the top of Kamau, and the whistle goes with a quick applause from Adelaide City bench. Morris Natali's really animated on the bench at the moment for Modbury Jets, trying to will his players for the big last few minutes. And with things concluding at Playford, we know Raiders will not pick up points, which means even if Modbury Jets do not pick up points, they'll say same spot relative to each other. Both those teams, relegation zone. Croatia Raiders last, Modbury Jets second to last. A little bit of a rush ball off Henderson to Alex Woodlands. Long one. Headed up the line, trying to find Lachlan Wilson. Joku Wall almost caught off guard with that one. Spills it to Binyam Kabiti. Daniel with the try out. Manages to pick out Patrick McGregor, but his initial touch, not great. And Dion Petropoulos puts it just ahead of Laurie Latanzio, but Cameron O'Doherty gets to it first, and he'll take, looked like he was going to take the throw, and he will not. Oliver Weston will do so in the opposite shirt. Patrick McGregor's attempted header to find Francesco Scamizzi doesn't get there. Scamizzi's just a player who's had a frustrating afternoon too. Some early opportunities to get on the ball in this game, not eventuating, and then just battling to see much of it. And at this stage, it looks like this game's going to wrap up with the same sort of fashion it's been contested most of the afternoon as a bit of an arm wrestle. It hasn't been a hugely dominating effort from Adelaide City, I wouldn't say, but they took their chance. Been a little bit more patient defending since they did take the advantage. And Modbury Jets, it's just been a tricky afternoon for them. Tim Henderson, and that attempted a touch just about frustrate, sort of sums up how the afternoon's gone for Modbury Jets. Henderson attempted to play that one on quickly, but called back to the spot. Henderson will take it for a little bit of a run here as he chooses out an option. Noah Smith seeing it over the line. I believe I just heard 1.5 come from the assistant below me. Gives you an indication of how much time we have left. Daniel Brisant, can he do something late? Alexander Woodlands with a save with his feet and keeps Modbury Jets in this to possibly salvage a point if they can do something here in the dying moments. Francesco Scamizzi gets to it after giving Oliver Weston a bit of a shove for encouragement. Jockey Wall. Stern instructions from Vasparas and Adelaide City bench to get their squad organised. Scamizzi bounced a little bit awkwardly there. Wasn't an issue for John Hall in the end. And there's the final whistle. Adelaide City happy to finally see the end of this game after some tense moments. 1-0 up, but for Modbury Jets, tough afternoon at the office and a tough result to swallow. They'll finish this round exactly where they started, just 1 point ahead of Adelaide Croatia Raiders. That relative position doesn't seem important because unfortunately for them, they're still in that dreaded relegation zone on the RAA NPLSA table. So we're set up for a really frantic dash to the finish for the sides at the bottom of this table at the moment. But we'll wrap things up here because we're just about done. Before I do leave, though, a reminder, the Federation Cup final between Metro Stars and Adelaide Croatia Raiders is on Saturday, July 12th. You can head to Football SA online for all of your tickets. But from me, Simon Jimenez, that's all this afternoon. I'll actually catch you shortly. Metro Stars and Adelaide United Youth, the Young Reds. That'll be live from TK Shut Up on FSA Leagues on YouTube. We'll catch you then.